I'm going to reveal the one secret I discovered. The one thing that transformed me from a feral, homeless, hippie kid struggling to overcome my brain cancer death sentence, struggling to eat because we couldn't even afford the dollar menu at Burger King, and struggling to feel safe in such an unsafe feeling world, into a self-made, financially abundant entrepreneur. Now, if you're thinking, okay, Eddie, so how does a 37-year-old man who has zero conventional education work for himself and live financially independently? Well, I'll tell you my quick, full story in a minute, and how I used a simple pair of headphones to overcome my poor programming or mindset, achieving an incredible amount of wealth and abundance in my life. But first, it's important to understand how I even discovered this and why learning from books, tutors, masters, and teachers never worked for me. In fact, learning became my enemy. I've since discovered as learning is the worst thing you can ever do if you want to deliberately and effortlessly change your life, because it isn't your smarts that creates or manifests anything in your life. In fact, your intelligence, or what you think you know, gets in the way of letting in what you're asking the universe for. Here's what I mean. How many times in the last 5 minutes did you intend for something better, like more money, only to immediately think about and talk about what you don't want? Now, if you're like most people, including me, it's hard to take your attention away from the circumstances you don't want. That's because your subconscious can't let you focus on what you want. Here's what I mean. Your subconscious is programmed to force your attention to see what it wants you to see. It's like a supercomputer, and it's being run by old software, and it's software that's plagued by viruses called scarcity and limiting beliefs. Software that hasn't been updated with the right programming since you were born. That's why it's beyond easy to continue manifesting everything you absolutely don't want. Your subconscious is the noise in your head that won't let you think about the thoughts you want to think about. But you absolutely do have control. In fact, you already manifested everything you are and have now effortlessly. Don't you want to know how? Now, I have to admit, nobody taught me this stuff. This is a true story about real-life magic. Magic that anyone can easily tap into. The magic you've always known was there, and I'm going to show you how to easily access it. No, you're not crazy to believe you can transform your reality from the inside out. And it's absolutely not your fault that you haven't discovered this stuff already. There are too many wannabes, coaches, consultants, and marketers out there trying to convince people they know the secret. And yet, many of these gurus have zero abundance unless they're teaching you how to manifest what you want. But don't worry, you're not alone. This magic is so easy to access, even a newborn infant can do it. The bottom line? What I'm about to share with you is the only thing you'll ever need to tap into this magic and dramatically transform your life into the reality of your fantasies. But before I tell you what this secret is, how do you actually create your reality? Well, believe it or not, the latest in quantum physics teaches us that your reality is created with your attention. Your attention is what turns that subatomic particle I mentioned earlier into everything you have in your life right now. Now, I bet you're wondering, if my attention creates my reality, why can't I just think about money and make it magically appear? Okay, before I answer that, let me back up, because it's critical to know why your attention is actually creating everything you don't want right now. And once you get this, you'll never again wonder, why doesn't this stupid manifestation stuff work? Very quickly, here's what's going on. The reality you've been living with in the past is based on 3 things. First, the story you're telling to yourself and other people. Second, your limiting beliefs. And lastly, your judgments, and more so, your fear of consequences. These 3 things are what direct your attention. That's what your subconscious is. I call these 3 things the editor. The editor is your subconscious programming, and no matter how much awesome new information you learn, the editor, well, It edits that information and limits what you can do by keeping your attention distracted by what is, thus manifesting more of what is. That's why you're not here to learn how to manifest. Instead, I'm going to show you how to reprogram the editor so you can easily and openly live in your natural state of unlimited abundance. And I have great news. Not only can you reprogram the editor in your brain to automatically attract what you want, you can begin doing it today. Because there's actually a way to talk directly to the part of your brain where the editor lives. The part of your brain that decides what you do and don't manifest or create in your life, aka the editor. And until you reprogram the editor, you'll never be, do, or have what you truly desire. So I want you to forget about every self-help book you've ever read, every seminar you've attended about changing your thoughts and your life, every guru who says, "You need to learn my program before you can manifest what you want." Forget about all that, because here's the truth about manifestation. Reality is always a question mark, and you are the one always answering that question with your attention. But who's directing your attention? Well, it's your editor. So getting what you want, no matter what it is not about learning new manifestation techniques. It's about updating the editor software in your brain.